ideas that you might use to leverage learning in your classroom. So go ahead and tweet out to DL Fetter, and if possible, share the link to the tool. So let's start with Animoto. A to Z, we're going to start with A. Animoto is a great tool to create movies and such, but let's also use this screen as a little teaching tool. So always I'll have the icon down here in the lower right or somewhere on the screen, and that is actually a link to the tool. So I'm going to go there right now and go to Animoto. And you're going to love watching all the tabs open up as I move through this screen. So Animoto will allow you to take any collection of pictures and create a little video, and it is so easy. So here's one that we did on Family Bingo Night. The advisor sent me all of these pictures and said, can you make a little video? And all I did was download the pictures and then upload them into Animoto. In some cases, I added a caption, like with this picture, and then I chose a song, and in seconds, I had a cute video that I could preview and throw up to the web and for her to share out and share with her stakeholders. So it will show my preview, and students can use this. There's a free version, there's a paid version, and it's a great tool for them to use. They can collect their pictures on their phone, and it even has a mobile app. So here you can see, okay, and it allows you to have a preview. Once you hit produce, you can then produce it and go ahead and you can share it out via YouTube or whatever resource you might use. So now let's head to B. B is for bouncy balls. Now, this is a lot of fun at the elementary school because when you have kids in the room, sometimes the volume gets a little loud. So you can just turn on bouncy balls while they're doing their work. And what will happen is that if I'm very quiet, you can see nothing moves. But as I get louder, things will turn on. So first I have to turn on the microphone. And as I get louder and louder, the balls bounce around and around and around. And you can do emojis. You can do bubbles. And for those middle school kids, you can do little eyeballs. They really love this. And you can have it have a sound on it, a beep on it, whatever you need to have to keep those kids focused and engaged in learning. So Canva is one of my favorite of all tools, and now they have an education version. I use Canva quite heavily in creating various things, and here's some examples of what I've done. I've made, we are a K-12 district, and we have Chromebooks one-to-one with many grade levels, actually grades 4 through 12. So we made a little poster that they could use in the classroom. Another thing that we did was to just make web banners for our Facebook page and what have you. So we have things like that. But Canva now has Canva for Education. And if you haven't had an opportunity to do that, you should sign up for that Canva for Education, because now you can take it out in the classroom and help your students to become real graphic designers. So let's see if I can show you. Here's a poster I made for our school district. And this now hangs on. It has our mission statement and various things that are pertinent to our district, along with our logo and branding. When you do start your account, you can set up your branding so you can get colors and what have you. I've also made new academic excellence certificates for us to use as we create awards for our students. So Canva is a super useful tool, and let me show you all of they have templates, and all you do is pick a template, and then you can change the colors, you can change the images, you can bring in your own images. It's just fantastic. I strongly encourage you to use it. Okay, D is for draft back. We are a Google school, and one of the things that we really like is to have a document and the kids turn it in, and draft back will allow you the opportunity to see what how the document was built. So what we find our teachers using is this tool, and if a student copies and pastes a large chunk of content in, you will see that it is instantly appeared. Otherwise, you'll see them adding every bit by bit by typing it in, going back, and things like that. So I strongly recommend the use of draft back. Okay, E is for emoji bullets, and I'm going to demonstrate that one right here. So emoji bullets, we all have those when we use the bullets in our text, and so sometimes those get a little boring. So I'm going to take this text box right here and I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to highlight these. I'm going to go right up here to insert special characters. Maybe it's not going to work while we're doing this. I'm sorry, format, bullets and numbering. And then you're going to go right here to list options and down to more bullets. And so you see right now I have the little angel guy. I can now use my emoticons, and I could do a wavy happy person. And now once I move back to that, we should expect to see little wavy happy people as emojis. Way better than those little bullets. Okay, F is for fake book. The kids know how to use Facebook. Instagram, they're probably more, but there's more ways to use Facebook. And using fake book is incredible. This is an example of a fake book for Mr. Winston Churchill. And instead of having a student do a report, you could totally have them create a fake book for Mr. Winston Churchill. You'll notice it's going to give some of the basic, data about him. It's got his birth date, his death date, his job, political things. But look at the conversations that he's had and his friends. So, here he is. He announces the war is over, and Charles de Gaulle likes this. So think about that. The Queen is referencing some broadcasting and doing things like that. So I wonder what a fake book page would look like for Charlotte from Charlotte's Web, or Laura Ingalls Wilder from a book. Imagine having a student create a fake book page using this template that you can get. But what about, let's take it a step further, what if they created a fake book page for a disease? What if they created a fake book page for penicillin? Who would be penicillin's friends? Who would be the enemies? Where was it born? What family is it? So, it doesn't just have to be people. So keep that in mind as you're trying to give creative assignments that are outside the box. And for distance learning right now, just think how much fun the kids would have to create a fake book page instead of typing up a long report on something. So oftentimes in a high school classroom, we have to create groups, and sometimes we're creating groups for staff or for students. And one of the ways that you can do that is with Group Maker. So you can create that, and the link is right here. And you would take a list of names and use this Group Maker tool. So we can go ahead and create a group now, and I can call it my sample group, and I will type in my email. I'm going to use my school one right here and check availability. So it's got it. Now I can go to my group and I can create that group. Okay, So it says I can even import a group. So that's great. If you have a group that you can get download from your student information system, you can totally do that. So I'm just going to use this as a sample, and we'll just go with some names that I have. Oops, I hit return and enter. So I need to edit that group because one person does not a group make. Throw in some names here. And then now I can save that group, and I'm going to go back to that groups page, and I can use some tools. So I can make some group. If I want to create groups of just pairs, I can create these groups. Then I can post them in, and I could have them up on my screen when the students come into the class, or however I want to set them up, and they would know how you want to make that group. So that's a great tool for making groups, because kids often wonder, how did I get stuck with this person or what have you? So we have, like I said, we have Chromebooks, and one of our tools that our teachers, we recommend to our teachers, because we have the history that we require that clearing history is disabled for our students. So oftentimes the kids are a little bit secretive about what they're looking at, and as soon as the teacher pops over, they find that they have been in, say, YouTube, and the kid will totally deny it, and we know those people. So you just have to Control H, and it's not going to work because I'm on a personal device. So it's not a managed device, so I won't be able to show it to you. But Control H will allow you to look at the history for those students. You could also simply just go right up here, and you could see the recently closed items, and you can see where they've been. So monitoring your students is quite simple. Insert Learning. Insert Learning is an awesome tool. Insert Learning allows you to create a worksheet, an interactive worksheet, out of a web page. So here's one that I created using the Pine City Wikipedia page. And you'll see it come up here, and I can turn on my Insert Learning, and you see the tools that show up right here. I can now highlight information, and I can create questions and ask them, what do you think of the job market in Pine City? And I can post it. This web page then becomes an interactive worksheets for the students that I have, and I can then assign it to them. I can insert a discussion question. I can ask just a basic question. It could be an are you reading it? They could be looking at it at this paragraph, and I could say, insert a question. Highlight that, insert a question. What county is Pine City in? And then I can create the question, and then they can answer it, and I can go back in and manage that tool. So check out Insert Learning. It's a great resource, especially during this distance learning time. Jackpot. You know, sometimes you have to pick a winner for things. Sometimes the kids are giving speeches and you want to know who goes next. Maybe that's their jackpot time. So you can create a list of names, and you can virtually spin. I have to turn off the ad blocker. You can virtually spin and choose a winner. This takes place of those popsicle sticks that people might have. And if I want to, I can remove that name so I don't draw that student again. You can right here, you can go and create your own list. I love their list of names. it says sunny day and war and peace. Anyway, somebody there's got a sense of humor. So here we go. We are at J and 15 minutes in. So K is for Keep. Keep is a great tool for mobile use, and because it goes across your whole Google platform. So if we go to my Keep, which apparently I didn't have linked, sorry. So I'm going to go to keep.google.com. And you can see all of the things that I have. I can have an inspirational list. I can have reminders. I can have notes. I can do all sorts of things. So I can take a note and say, remember to add keep link to your slide deck. I can then go ahead and add an image if I'd like to. If I'm shopping someplace and I want to do a picture, here's a little screenshot I took to help a staff member. Those kinds of things. So Keep is a great tool. I'd encourage you to give it a shot. L is for Lexile Checker. This was an eye-opener for me. We have, in Minnesota, we have the standards that we keep teaching. And what I was surprised was that our Lexile that we're presenting in our standards are written at a much higher level than our students can understand. So I'm just going to go open up a new tab, and I'm going to ask for Minnesota ELA standards. And so here they are. And I'm going to open them up. So I'm just going to scroll down, and I'm going to take this, let's see. Let's go ahead and take this grade 3, benchmark 3 phonics, and I'm going to copy that. And now I'm going to go over to that Lexile checker, and I'm going to paste it in there. Now this is grade 3, and you'll see that the Lexile is a 1200 to a 1300. Now typically it's the teachers that are going to be reading that, and we're going to be rewriting it so that parents can understand it. But that's a pretty high Lexile to have parents understand. So a Lexile checker is a great tool if you're writing an exam, those kinds of things. Just check to see where your Lexile is at and make sure that you're writing in a Lexile that's appropriate for your audience. Now memes. Memes have been so super prevalent right now in this time, and they're great for use in the classroom. So I want to just share a sample. This is one that I used from Meme Generator and got the image, and this one's all safe, and I can share that, and I can create that myself. Now another meme that I made was using Google Drawings, and just go ahead and look for a meme picture. So you can see that you can be funny and you can be appropriate. Meme Generator is one. I just even hesitate to click on this link because, you know, in political times, things can get kind of crazy. But if you look at the samples, so be careful if you're doing a high school or elementary, be careful what you choose. But look here, I can pick this one, and I can just go ahead and create my own conversation and use it in the classroom. Realistically, I would take this blank template and download it and provide my students with a collection of templates that I feel are appropriate instead of sending them to one of these sites. It's just a lot safer. Okay. N is for my passion. It is not another email PD. As a Google Innovator, my problem that I brought to the Innovator Academy was how do I get my teachers and our teachers to really try some other thing and move out of their comfort box, which they have hugely been doing now. So my project is not another email PD, and this is what I do. Every 2 weeks, I create a flyer, and it does not, technically, it does not, the flyer does not end up in your email box, but what I do is send you here to the website, and I want people to grab the PDFs and print them and post them where appropriate. At my school, I post them in the bathroom, by the copiers, by the mailroom, in the break rooms, on the lunch tables, and we have a lot of conversations about these kinds of things. This is just a little bit of professional development to whet their appetite in just small bites. So feel free to check them out and use them as you wish. So O is for the Omnibox. The Omnibox is right up here. It's this where you put the URL, or as one of my retired teachers used to call it, it's the URL box. My favorite Omnibox tip is using the timer. So if I put in right here, I wrote timer 15 minutes, I can use that, and it's going to create a timer that's going to go off and make an alarm in 15 minutes. Our nurse's office uses this, and then they will have something add right here, and they'll just put Johnny and then keep going, and they could have another kid come in and then use another timer. But that's a great one. Another one is just very simply, we could say weather, Pine City, and it is just right going to be there. Can you see right here? It just happens in this Omnibox in Google Chrome. You can do €5 to $2, and right there the answer pops up. If I hit enter, it's going to go ahead and take me to that page and show me more that I can interact with. But basically the point is that they 5 pounds to grams. It's not coming up this time. So then I will have to go ahead and enter, and it will get this information for me. So there you go with Omnibox. It's amazing. It's powerful. P is for Padlet. Padlet is a great online whiteboard, and this is one that I use for presentation purposes. And you can now have, Padlet went to a paid service. And what it does, and here's one that I've been collecting for a while, it's now a paid service, and I believe you can have 8 before you have to pay. And I'm going to tell you my secret. I just delete stuff from my 8 and reuse them and rename them, name them. So Padlet is amazing, and it's a great place to collect information. Q is for QR code monkey. Oftentimes in my Not Another Email PD, I use a QR code, and I like to use QR code monkey because it helps me make pretty ones. So let's take a look at that. And I'm going to grab a URL. I'll go ahead and grab my Not Another Email PD URL and go back to QR code monkey. So this just asks me to go ahead and enter my URL. I can set the colors however I would like. Let's do some red today, and I can have a background color. Let's do some green, Christmas thing. I can add a logo image if I want, and let's just go ahead and put Twitter in there, and then customize the design. I can decide what I want, how I want it to look like. If I wanted to have a pretty design, I can do that, and then it's going to say create the QR code. So there it is. There's a little QR code now that I can use and copy and paste in whatever I would like. So if you use QR codes, QR code monkey is a great one to use. R is RemoveBG. This is a great tool for removing backgrounds. This is my grandson, and I had this picture taken. I took it and put it into the RemoveBackground and was able to get this. It's much better than any other kind of tool. So let's see if we can go to RemoveBG, and I'm going to go and see if I can grab a house picture. And I'm just going to go to images. And let's see if we can use this one. And we'll just save this image. Throw it on my desktop. And now I'm going to go to remove. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to upload that image and you're going to see how it works. This is a great tool for using when you want to create, oh, could not identify foreground. Well, let's try another picture. Let's try a picture of a famous person. Let's go in this time, let's see if we can use Fauci. And let's take this one. He's a public figure. And grab this picture. Save it, pop back over here, upload a new image. And let's hope this one works. So there I have him. Now I could put him in any place that I wanted to and use him as without the background. It's really simple to use, and they actually now have another one, a sister site that allows you to remove backgrounds from videos, and it is called Unscreen. And it's very similar, and it will allow you to remove the background and create little GIFs without a background on them. So really handy to use. Here's the original, and notice how they took that person out, and now you can have that person wherever you would like them to be, maybe in front of the red rocks like Amy is. So S is for Flippity, skip the spreadsheet. Flippity is a great tool where you can create so many things to use in the classroom. And basically the original Flippity starts with a spreadsheet. If you do the skip the spreadsheet, you can take a list of items and you can do a fun with words perhaps, where they can create different kinds of words. These are great for graphics. Okay, go back and I could do a bingo. And I can print them. I can save them as PDFs. You can play virtual bingo. Let's try one more. There's also a randomizer wheel where then you can spin it and you can call names. Oh, let's do one more because Flippity is kind of fun. A snowman, and this is what I would call hangman. So if I put in a W here and ask it to check it, there's no W. What about an N? My snowman is getting built. There we go. I can keep going. What about a B? Looks like it could be maybe Brazil, and keep going and doing that. And there went my snowman. So Flippity, skip the spreadsheet is quick and easy, and you could even hang out. We could play that snowman game over a Hangout or a Zoom. So Tall Tweets. Tall Tweets is one of the favorite tools that I use to create animated GIFs for my Not Another Email PD. So this is one to, let's just try this. So I'm going to take and go to Tall Tweets, and it walks me through everything. So I just am going to sign in with Google and follow the steps. Now I need to select a presentation, and it's going to take me right to my Drive. And I have created a short presentation about a tool called Explain Everything. So let's see if I can see that one right here on top. Here it is. I can choose that tool. And it is making the GIF for me. It is chugging away and thinking hard. Thinking very hard. Probably all of the tabs that I have open. So there it is. I can say how long I want the duration of for each slide to show, and then I can create the GIF, and then it will generate. I can download it, save it, use it wherever I want, and you'll see this GIF start to play. And this is Tall Tweets. I strongly encourage, if you're making GIFs and training things, this is a great tool. Okay. U is for URL shorteners. One of the things that we have to do oftentimes as presenters and teachers is to share a URL with someone that is long and ginormous. So I'm going to go ahead and take the URL for this presentation and copy it. I'm going to go to my favorite one called Yell Key. Yell Key provides a term that you can yell out. And basically this one then will be effective for 5 minutes. And it picked the word move. So now if you went to yellkey.move, and I can easily say that, I don't have to spell it, there's my presentation. So another one, of course, very common one is tinyURL. I love that one. You can generate the words. Capitalization matters with that one, as does the common one, and that is bit.ly. You'll see a lot of those. There are a lot of URL shorteners. These are my favorite 3. V is for voice recorder. Sometimes you need to record your voice. If I don't have my phone handy, because I would typically use voice memos, voice recorder is what I use, or if I have to work with a couple of other people. Oftentimes the technology coordinator and I will create a video together, and this is where we can kind of do our thing and create the recording. So this tool is very simple to use. The interface is pretty obvious. I'm going to record, and so here it goes. It's recording, and wait, there's somebody looking at me, so I can pause and take care of that, and then I can start recording again. And when I'm done, it allows me to be processed. I can save it, and then it will just do a download that I can now pull in, put in a Google slide, send as an email, whatever I need to do. Online voice recorder is the voice recorder I would recommend if you need to do some recording. Okay, WeVideo. WeVideo is amazing. I love it because now in WeVideo, you can actually create, let's see if I can get to my WeVideo. WeVideo even allows you to create your podcast, if you like, however you want to create your tools. So here's a little read aloud that our school resource officer did, and he did a great job. He recorded it with his phone, and then I pieced it together. You can see here, I put in an introduction piece. Okay, and then his video. You can see I also has his video. There's down here in the little scrubber bar. I can use whatever I need to do. I can also add more audio. If I wanted to put in a little musical background, I could. I can adjust the transitions. I can put in different backgrounds for things. I can also go in and create some use some of their stock media and create some real fancy presentations to use. I record mainly with my phone and the quality is great. Just make sure that you have your phone camera set for the highest audio. When I go to finish this, notice right here, video with audio or just the audio only. You could create a real professional style podcast using the tools and the music and the backgrounds in WeVideo. And then finally, look at the great way that you can export them. You can go straight to YouTube. You can throw it into Drive. You can just publish it as WeVideo, Dropbox, OneNote, Vimeo. I mean, there's so many places that you can export it. So WeVideo is amazing. Okay. X was kind of hard, but some of my favorite Chrome extensions are Tab Glue, Tab Scissors, Crafty Level, and Bitmoji. I keep my Bitmoji right up here so that I can find an appropriate, happy Bitmoji to share when I'm creating presentations or the like. The other thing that I use, a real common one that I use, is Extensify. And I'm going to turn on Tab Glue and Tab Scissors so that I can demonstrate them for you. And right here, Scissors is going to cut my screen in half, and then Glue is going to put everything back together again. If you need that split screen look, it really is helpful to do that, and it puts everything back together where it was when you're finished. Y is for YouTube. One of the best things that I recommend to my teachers when creating YouTubes, create playlists. So let's take a look at some of the playlists that I have developed here for my teachers. This is one that's called What's Happening. Let me pause it. What's Happening at PCHS. They can share this out and just have that collection. So imagine you are a history teacher and you are teaching about the Civil War, and you want to cultivate a collection of YouTube videos that either you've created or outside resources have created, and you can go from there and create that playlist and share out the playlist, because I can now just share this playlist, and it's easier for my students to look at just this bunch instead of digging through a bunch of links and so forth. Okay, and finally, Z is for Zoom, which if you're here, you're using it. So I'm going to leave you at the bottom here, this screen, and I would love some feedback on this. And now I'm going to pop in and see if anybody has any questions. Seemed like that went very quickly. And I'm hoping that people got some things out of this. I'm looking now at the chat, and I'm back. Anybody have any questions?
Hi, Diana. There were some questions kind of scattered throughout, but they were kind of, pointed at a couple of the different things that you showed. So I think somebody had a question about Omnibox, like where you find that.
The Omnibox is just where you type in the URL. If you were going to type in www.zoom.com, that's the Omnibox. It's where you type in the URL in Chrome. I guess would be my best explanation.
Okay. Yeah. And then I've just been sharing
the address bar. Yes, that's exactly
address bar. There we go. And then I've just been sharing along with some of the other people in here, just the link to your slides. So hopefully, and I added it to the ELCC schedule also. So if they go and look under your description, it should be there too.
Sure. I thought I'd send that to Brandon, but that's okay.
Oh, what was I going to ask? I had a question. I saw on one of your slides, you made like a little cartoon of yourself. Where did you do that?
Well, I get that question quite a bit. And actually, it was the best $25 I spent through Fiverr. F-I-V-E-R-R. And okay. Fiverr is a group of people like artists. They could be graphic artists, web designers, what have you. I went on there and I said I wanted an avatar for my Not Another Email PD, and I don't know, it's another time zone all the way around the world. The person said, oh, well, send me some pictures, and so I sent some pictures, and we went back and forth about 3 times. And when I asked for wardrobe changes and jewelry changes, because those are important, right, ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, $25 and I have that. So I recommend checking Fiverr.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to do that. I'm like, that one, like, it's so realistic. Cause I mean, I know you can make, I don't know, avatars for yourself. Like on different programs, but they never really quite look like you, you know?
Right. It's a little bit more than a Bitmoji.
Yeah. And there are some questions in there. Oh, I think there's one from Shannon. It says, do less tech savvy students ever have problems with any of these resources?
You know, my side of it is these are the teachers to use them. We have right now, as part of my job, I've been doing Google Hangouts and Meets with students to help support them use the tools and impersonate them. And I haven't run across anything of these that the students are having difficulties with.
Okay. There was another question. Would Keep be a Google Classroom equivalent to an ePortfolio?
Keep is, I would compare Keep to, does anybody remember Evernote? One of those kinds of tools. It keeps all of your things. It's, you know, sitting right here next to me is my list of Post-it notes. This is my non-virtual Keep. If I wanted all of these things, this is what I would use. Keep allows me to make a grocery list or snap a picture, find a resource when I'm scouring different resources, and I can save it in one spot to use with other things. Oh, the math teachers. I see a lot of questions on math and those kinds of things. I would encourage you with math tests and the like. One of the tools that we use in Pine City for teaching the math is Explain Everything. And that's a great online whiteboard tool where you can just do some drawing and they can annotate on a touch screen or an iPad. There's also a good equation editor in there as well. I encourage the use of Equagio and Desmos for writing those equations. Those are tough calls for you math folks. How is Keep better than Evernote? Keep is the Google version of Evernote, and as a Google innovator, I try to live in that Google-centric world. So Explain Everything doesn't work without a touch screen. Yes, that's sad. It does not work the best. The other thing that we've done is taking some PDFs and actually inserting them behind as a background in a Google slide and using that to provide like a worksheet for math teachers. They still need to write over it, and they can use a tool like Cami to overwrite or annotate on top of a PDF, and that is useful. Let's see. Any other questions? I'm scrolling back. I see some there, access to the presentation. It's so different. If you were in real life, we would have drawn and you would have gotten prizes. Sorry that you missed out on that. Somebody said they use sticky notes. Sticky notes is a great tool. What I like is that with Keep, it allows me to go from my phone to my Chromebook to my Mac desktop, and it's all there. If you're using Google Classroom, one of the things that I recommend for keeping kids organized in there is to have them watch their to-do list. And that's if they look at the main classroom screen where they see all of their classes, then under there is a to-do list. And that will help them keep organized about what's coming up today, what's coming up next week, and it'll also help them see what they missed.
So we have 5 minutes and then we'll have to end the meeting and I'll hop into another one.
Well, if anybody has anything else, I mean, I've got lots of tools in this toolbox. These are 26 of them.
This was really, really helpful. I was sitting there playing with them. Like I was using the remove.bg because it's so easy.
It is. It's super easy.
I like took a picture of my kid at the pool and like moved him out of it. It was really cool. I'm gonna use several of these. I know, like in my day-to-day life. So thank you.
We use it at school quite a bit with, we are kind of an underprivileged district, and so there's a lot of students who don't get the senior pictures taken. Remember the fancy one where you spend hundreds of dollars to get those pictures? We'll take them and we'll put them in front of our green screen, and because we painted a wall to be a green screen, and then we'll let them choose their background, and it kind of empowers them, and it doesn't cost them a dime, and now we have a great picture to publish for their senior picture, and it really makes them feel good.
I think there was a question in there about Flippity, whether or not Flippity has symbol ability to create math-related matching games. I don't know if you answered that one or not.
If Flippity has the ability to bring in an image. So if you can get your image file, it will make the images. So you can do the matching. It just depends where you get the image and the proper way to bring it in. So if they, you know, and I meant to say this at the beginning, but at the beginning of my presentation is my email address. I put it out there on purpose. Use it. Find me, my Not Another email on Facebook, and, you know, contact me if you have questions. I'm happy always to help people. So Amy, then you want to wrap up, or are we saying goodbye? I see people are popping over to find their other presentations, but I look forward to making some connections, and thank you everybody for spending this last time with us. So I appreciate all of the comments, and we'll look forward to hearing from some of you.
Thank you so much, Dihanna. That was fabulous. I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting.
Okay, bye.
Bye.